Video time. Tea first. So that's the size of a teacup, by the way. There we go. In case you're wondering, Lady Grey, bit of honey, a little bit of almond milk. Lovely. Alright, let's get it on the road. Dum 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 dum. Ta-da! Hello YouTube, hello friends, how are you guys doing? Rainbow here, and today we're going to be talking about another Nerf mod. In particular, this beauty, or the beast, however you want to call it. This is lovely, and it is called the NUOTHE'AN LS-21 blaster. It is the latest and yet biggest Nerf mod that I've built, and I just absolutely love this. So much work, about 150 plus hours or so went into this project, and it's my entry actually for the Reddit Nerf mergemasters 3 contest, which is a Reddit community based modders contest, so there's links in the description if you want to check it out. And yes, I just love this blaster. So what the hell is going on with all of this? First off, have a closer look, but I understand that there's so many details on this blaster that you actually want to pay close attention to. Focus. And so that you can do that, I've actually attached another longer overview video to this so that you can have a look at what's going on and you don't have to worry about me shaking the blaster all over the shop. So this is where we're at. Little details, wicked. And yeah, this is the blaster. It's really cool. It's rather big, and it's, as I said, the biggest mod I've built so far. So all in all, from here to there, we're roughly at about a meter and 3 centimeters or so in length. It's quite heavy, but I think it's an alright weight for a blaster that size. And what's in here? I took a Modulus and a Raven and a Longshot and a Centurion and a Magnus, and I put all of these 5 together into this beauty right here. And for those of you who can't tell by the looks, the base, the core working blaster is the Modulus. So we have the Modulus sort of here. We've got a Raven attached just there. Have the Longshot stock on top of the Raven stock, and also parts of the Longshot here and in the front here. And then we have the Magnus as a master key integrated here, and there's a Centurion barrel running all the way through here, and the Centurion front end just there. So these are the 5 blasters incorporated into this. So the main integration being the Modulus and the Raven are actually on the inside done with Smoothcast 65D, and on the outside done with epoxy sculpt. Which was the first time that I actually worked with epoxy sculpt, and I really love it. It is a 2K epoxy that has a really long working time, up to 3 hours you can work with that stuff, and it's fantastic because it gives you so much time to actually work the details right, so you don't have to do as much sanding when you get down to sanding the blaster. So especially the front bit here where I have this gap, like I did all of that. I hardly had to do any sanding for this because I think they are wax the tools for wax working of sorts, and I used those to work the epoxy sculpt before it dried, and it was just fantastic, really cool. And then I've done a lot of filling of unnecessary gaps, like the old Raven gap up here. And the handle, the Modulus is a great blaster, but the handle just sucks with having all these holes in there. So this one is filled, solid, and is now a really nice grip. And then I've done all this, I modeled all of that, and then sort of shaved it down to make it a really comfortable grip. I really like it, it's well comfortable. In the back of this blaster, so going from the back to the front, in the back we have the Longshot stock, which is epoxied to the Raven, but also serves a double purpose. It's not just a stock for the looks, it houses the battery. This blaster runs on a 3S LiPo, 1400 milliamp hours, so it's a rather big one, and it sits right in here. Once again, shout out to Mr. Nathan. Thank you very much for your video on the Centurion stock battery tray, because that inspired me to do this. and it's just so cool. Have a little screw up here, and then all of this sort of comes out, and you can reach the battery, and it looks like this. So I just took out that screw here, and now this just pops out like so, and then opens away like this. This is what it looks like, and this is what the battery door looks like. So if we were to take out the LiPo that's on here, it's just like that, and it's a really snug fit in there because of the Velcro that's been attached to the inside. You can hardly see, let me get some light. So as you can see here, there's Velcro attached to the side here and to the bottom here, so it's a really snug fit just right in there. That's where the LiPo sits, and then you can disconnect it here, and that's all there is to it. And this is the beast that's powering the blaster. And so going from the back further on, the Raven battery tray houses two 9-volt batteries for the LEDs inside this blaster. And there is a total of 24 LEDs inside this blaster, and it's two separate circuits, one of them being switched on just about here. And now we have the blue running through here. These are actually aquarium tubes that I use, and I put blue LEDs on both sides to just sort of make them shine really nice. And in the front we have the LEDs sitting behind that metal piece. The second LED circuit is actually a muzzle flash kind of effect. When you pull the trigger all the way back, it'll light up orange LEDs that are located in the battery door and in the top here. So if you look closely, you can see that happening. You turn off the blue real quick. And by the way, this battery door, it's still completely functional, and the LEDs work in either position. And when I'll later on show you how this looks on the inside, so you can see how this is done. It doesn't feel with the trigger at all, and still completely functional. Cool. So going further forward, we have as bits of the long shot just here, and then the big metal shield, a piece of metal thing that I've just had flying about, turn it into a shield. Also put bits of that behind here, as you saw earlier. And then coming all the way forward, we have a lot of these spikes. They're located all over the blaster actually. And funny enough, they're from old bracelets. About 15 years ago, like back in my youth, I was a bit of a goth kind of thing, and I was wearing these a lot. Can you believe it? Like everywhere. Just all everywhere. I was wearing them a lot. I was 15, 16, 17 years old. And they were still in my basement, and I was looking at them. I have no use for them. So they would go, yep, put it on here. So they're all screwed in. They're solid in place, and gives the blaster a bit more of a beefy kind of look, and I really like it. The master key down here is done in this fashion where you cut out the middle of the magnus, so you can actually have a mag well in here and still prime it. It is fully primed now. It shoots from the trigger just here, and so now when you prime it and it goes all the way back, it goes over the mag just there and primes again, and you can fire it again. And other than that, just love the Magnus as a master key. It's really, really nice. Yeah. Tea. And last but not least, talking about the paint job. This was so much fun to paint. The entire blaster is inspired as a bit of a crossover between Fallout and Borderlands, if you can't tell. And I'll just put the lights back on to give it a better look. Yeah. The base coat was just blue spray paint, Montana spray paint, and then I taped it off and it looked like this. And then I put the orange on, and then copper, no not copper, it's kind of gold copper brass detailing as well as silver. And then I started hand painting all over the shop. So like all the black lines and all the details are hand painted, especially in the front here. After a decent weathering, painted the nozzle bit, and that was just so much fun to give it this burnt metal kind of look. And then we got a bunch of rust all over the place. This video really doesn't do it justice, so I tried to take as many pictures as possible. So there's on Imgur and on Blasted and on Reddit, there's going to be pictures, links in the description, just check it out. But it's really hard to show all this off, like all the rusty bits that we did here and here. Got the name up here, and then the rust in the back here. It's really hard with the light, so there we go. And yeah, it was just a lot of fun to do that. It's all over, a lot of weathering and a lot of rust, and I love how it turned out. And after that, just clear coated it with, I think, 3 layers of Montana spray clear coat, and that's the paint job. And yeah, as I said, I learned the rust. I didn't do rust painting before, and it was really cool. I love how it turned out. I think it looks awesome. Let me know what you guys think. And now let's move on to what's happening on the inside. So internally, this blaster, as I said, main functioning blaster is the Modulus. It's completely rewired using 16 AWG silicon wire, massive wire, because we have this big ass LiPo and we're rocking 2 out of darts Kraken 3S motors in a 42.5mm OFP cage with black worker wheels. The entire setup is fairly high crush, but it's just lovely. Like, listen to the sound that the Krakens make. I love these motors. Oh man, this is so good. And yeah, so this is the main blaster and it fires fantastically. I just love it, but more to the firing later on. I have no idea about the FPS because I don't have a chronograph. The Magnus is not modded, it is stock as is because it's a bit of a mess and I didn't really want to deal with this. And then we have the 24 LEDs, but to have a closer look on how it's done on the inside, let's open it up. So starting from the front, we have LEDs that sit behind here and here. So underneath this is kind of screwed in here and then will be pushed into place when the shell comes on top of it. But yeah, you can see the LEDs here. Focus, there we go. And there's 2 separate connectors. This one is for the blue circuit, this one is for the orange circuit. So if I need to do some shell work, I can actually take it apart and don't have to drag all these 2 shells around all the time because this blaster is massive. So back to the thing. We have all the LEDs wired in parallel, so meaning the blue circuit going from here, around here, down to here, underneath here, through here, all the wires going around the flywheel cage and underneath here and through there. And the orange circuit kind of does a similar thing. It loops from here to here, goes up to front, comes back and goes around here. So now here we have all the wires going underneath the trigger, just here coming out the back there. And now this is where the circuit's obviously split. So the blue circuit continues here and then fires up all these. And yes, it's a bit of a cable mess, but it was a lot easier to put the LEDs in place wiring like that. So I had more room to play with. And then the blue one has a switch up here and is powered by this normal battery out of the battery tray of the Raven. The orange one comes back into here, goes up here, and then goes into the jam door. Oh, come on, there we go. There's 2 lights in the jam door. And this is a kind of thing that I have put on there so that I can actually easily still maneuver that without the cables getting in the way of the trigger. And coming back to here, this is an original strife switch that I've put here, which enables the muzzle flash of the orange LEDs on full trigger pull, and then the orange circuit completes with this battery here. And the main wiring obviously is the flywheel cage going through here to the switch here, and then all the way underneath there to the big ass LiPo, which will sit right here in the battery tray that I made for it. Alright, firing demonstration of the NUOTHE'AN blaster. I've taken the shield off, so when we go down, shoot down the hallway, you can actually see a bit from that angle. We're going to start off with a bunch of mixed worn out and new elites, and just see how we do here. So when they come out straight, they're actually pretty accurate. If they're wobbly and whirly, they're obviously not. Next mag, 18 rounds, mixed darts and things. We have a bunch of Aku fakes, Aku strikes and waffle heads in the mix. Let's see how this goes. expected, that's surprisingly accurate, so I managed to hit all the way down the hallway in a square about that size, which was really cool, apart from like the occasional 2 darts that fly about. So fun thing, I completely forgot about talking about this when I did the external overview. The little thing up here, focus, please. There we go, focus. This little knob up here actually is from the modulus. This is the long shot front, and I've epoxied this bit into where the long shot front has that gap, and this little side that you can still flip, this little thing combined with the little sight on the Raven actually makes for a really cool pinpoint sight, because you can line them up quite nicely, which is what I just did on the last couple of shots, and it works. It's fairly accurate. I really like it. So this was firing the main blaster. Now on to the master key. As a Magnus should do with Mega Strike knockoff darts. So yeah, that's the firing. Back to the desk. So, wrapping this video up, the little thing, the name, which is right here, NUOTHE'AN, it's how it's pronounced, is a complete fictional name from back in the day when I used to play World of Warcraft. It was the name of one of my characters, and I thought it quite fitting for this blaster. And who knows, I played a lot of World of Warcraft. There's a bunch of characters, maybe I continue down this road and naming some blasters like the names back then. But other than that, I said at the start of this video, there's 150 hours of work that went into this build, and I really love how it turned out. I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys think it's really cool. If so, please leave a like and a sub to the channel and all that. If you're interested in the build, there is a Reddit post, an Imgur photo album, as well as a blaster.de build log. Links are in the description. You can check them out. There's going to be a lengthy build log, but it's going to cover all of the things that I did to this blaster, all the problems that I came across and how I solved them. And if you like what I do, please check out my social media, my Instagram, my website is rainbowalex.com, and my Patreon. Links are in the description. If you choose to support me on Patreon, that would be fantastic. And all the other things, please leave likes and subs and all that, because, you know, numbers is what we're all about. I hope you enjoyed this build. I'm going to do a little bit more of a firing with this blaster because it's so much fun. Until I see you on the Nerf battlefield, take good care. Love and sunshine, my friends, and I'm